Welcome back to the big room. It's Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas Eve.
It is Christmas.
And it's our last episode of the year. Because we're taking a week off because we deserve it. We've done almost 100 of these. Nick will point out, this is our 100th movie. But
He keeps doing it.
But he keeps doing it. But it hasn't been 100 episodes because we've had some combined episodes.
Yeah.
We've had 2 lost episodes, right?
1?
2?
I think so.
I think two.
Tombstone.
I
Kill
might be
Bill and
One's a Kill Bill's,
Tombstone.
right?
Kill Bill, yeah.
but-
Kill Bill was originally 2 episodes.
I factored that in.
Didn't we record that entire thing?
Tombstone we did.
Tombstone we did.
And
Yeah.
it's
We'll never know.
It's turned into a bit, but it honestly was a
That
pretty
was one
good
of the best
episode.
episodes. And
I
you'll-
still
It's a
think
real
we should
bummer.
spaghetti western your lines in and just release
release
it one day. Put it on
Put it on the
Patreon.
Patreon.
Charge like $3 or something. Yeah.
put it on the Patreon as if we have one. Also,
Get
I,
the
don't,
Patreon. Put it on it.
I think we deleted that. I don't think it's right. No. Because it was trash.
I'm not
I mean,
sure.
yeah, there's no point.
It's like leaving an
saving
empty
that.
chip bag in the pantry.
Or like
this is
one
garbage.
Oreo
You
in
can
the
use
Oreo
that bag
tray.
for something. Oh.
Well, Christmas. We
We
watched
can-
a Christmas movie.
Yes, we did.
We did. We watched,
watched
Tim
several.
Allen's
The Christmas
The
movie.
Santa Claus with an E at the end, which my ass didn't
Ooh.
notice until like 40 minutes in.
Me too.
I'm stupid.
Not
I was-
even
I
when
watched
they
as a
talked
kid, I
about
didn't
it
get
20 minutes
until-
in.
Yeah.
No, that's, well, whatever. We smart ass. And that's when I noticed is when they started like, did you
Okay.
read the Santa Claus?
The
And I was like,
claws.
oh!
That you need a magnifying glass to see.
Now it's sinking in.
Yeah, that can't
the
be
fine print.
binding.
No. You
I
can't
mean-
read it. It's not very expressly stated.
Good luck getting a lawyer
Yeah.
for that case, right?
Yeah. They
He's
just
got a
arrest
good one.
you.
Not as good as his ex-wife, so.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
November 11th, 1994. This was released widely. I think it came out on the 5th in New York. Budget of 22 million, box office of 190 million in 1994
bad.
dollars.
That's pretty good.
Directed by John Pasquin. You be the judge. And written by Leo Benvenuti and Steve Rudnick, who I wrote down only because the movie they did right after this was Space Jam.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And then they've done
Oh, we should maybe
absolutely
watch
nothing of consequence since. What?
that. We should watch Space Jam.
I mean, they can
I-
rest on their laurels
All
after
right.
Space Jam.
Here's the thing with Space Jam.
Oh,
I'm good if I never see that movie again. Moving on.
I've never seen it.
Oh.
It's like good, but it's like good in a way where like you're not gonna. Do you have any Looney Tunes exposure?
I mean, I've seen the movie, but that might be my only exposure.
Yeah, to both the Looney Tunes and
I've
Michael
seen
Jordan.
some of the cartoons. I'm aware enough.
All right, Danielle's like a complete blank though. She's never seen. Have you
Oh.
Looney Tunes?
Got her.
Is Looney Tunes like Bugs Bunny?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
There.
I mean, if you have to ask
Seen-
that, I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. No exposure to Looney Tunes. Doesn't know who like Michael Jordan is. Well, like you know who he is.
I know who Michael Jordan
He's
is.
the NASCAR guy.
There was this one episode of Looney Tunes where it was whatever the duck is, Daffy Duck,
See, this is what I'm saying.
Oh, no.
and they were like Wabbit season, duck season,
Yeah.
Wabbit season. They're like who was gonna get shot,
That's a
like the
recurring-
rabbits or the ducks.
That's a recurring bit.
Oh, it wasn't
Yeah.
just a one-off.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So this is a film that would be completely lost on her.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, whatever.
I-
I mean, it sounds
Probably
like you
me
still
too.
enjoy it. So
I do
don't
know who Michael Jordan is.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He
I don't
played.
wanna...
Yeah, he was the baseball player, right?
Ha!
Yes, for the White Sox. Who are
No, I'm kidding you for a little bit.
This movie, though, is not Space Jam. For God's sakes, this movie has a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is fine.
Fine. That's,
That's better
above
than I would
average.
have thought, I think.
That is better than I thought. I thought this is a 64% movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this is a C minus, high D tier, like letter grade from critics.
From critics.
Yeah,
All right.
you know,
I'm
professionals.
sorry.
Not us. We're idiots.
That's true.
We don't know what we're talking about. We're just like, we like that. That was good. And then we see Gone with the Wind and we're like, burn it. All burn it down. The movie sucks. I had never seen it. Am I the only one?
Yeah, I saw it as a kid.
You saw it as a kid.
I've seen it a
Daniel,
billion
you've
times.
ago,
seen it
yeah.
a million times.
Yeah.
I popped my Tim Allen Claus cherry. Wow.
Did you watch any Tool Time growing up?
No, I've never
Oh, yeah.
seen a second
Really?
of Home Improvement.
Okay.
I
Wow.
know about it.
So this is like your other than like Buzz Lightyear. This is it.
Yeah.
for-
Toy-
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like Home Improvement would be something your dad would watch.
Yeah.
Right?
He was
Like-
a Frasier guy. I remember Dad.
So yeah.
Classy.
I remember
All right.
Dad watching Frasier and the Drew Carey Show.
Ohio.
I'm sure.
I feel like both kind of a little bit more highbrow.
I'm sure Home Improvement was on. I don't know when that show ran, but I'm a little bit younger than all of you people. So
I mean, barely younger than me.
so much younger than you. So no, I have very minimal exposure to Tim Allen, other than now he's like a conservative chud who needs to shut up. But yeah,
What was
Ignore
your
that,
impression of
no.
him in this movie? Like from this era?
impression of his role.
Yeah, or just like him, like, because he didn't really get much of toll time. So I'm wondering, like, did you have any
I got
exposure,
enough-
like, to like what his comedy style was? Or anything?
Yeah, just from
Okay.
like the zeitgeist, like the cultural zeitgeist around Home Improvement and Tool Time and stuff. Like I saw he did at least 2 bits that referenced that in this movie, picking
Yeah.
up the tool belt, and then his first ho 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 was very Tim the Tool Man.
And the cat hiss.
Yeah, that all that stuff. Like his physical comedy has been around, like prevalent enough to where I'm like, okay, yeah, like I get. He seems like that's his character.
I was
You know
gonna
what
say, outside of like Toy Story, maybe he's the
That's
same
Tim
person in
Allen.
every movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also familiar with his work trafficking cocaine and getting
Real.
arrested in
Very
the 80s.
cool.
Yeah. He had a very, very awful mustache back then. He definitely should not have one.
Ooh.
I'm gatekeeping mustaches from Tim Allen. Look up his mugshot. It's bad. He's got a push broom, but not in a positive way. Normally, I see like a push broom mustache, and I'm like, hell yeah. But maybe it's just because he's sad because he got busted for like
Yeah, nobody-
trafficking a
That's true.
lot of nose candy.
Nobody's giving
But-
their best
No,
smile.
yeah, nobody's mugshot
He
looks
didn't
good.
get a chance to brush it.
I don't know. There was that one murderer that TikTok thought was hot a couple months
That's
ago.
an outlier, though.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
forget his name.
Yeah, it is
He's-
rare.
he did some
Luigi?
really bad. Nope. No, that's our
Oh, boy.
hero. This movie is like 97 minutes long, which is perfect. Although,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm wondering if you had the same. When the movie ended, I was like, "That's it." I kind of wanted more Santa at the
It
end.
felt,
Yeah.
the whole time I was like, this feels like a really slow burn. Like,
It
It took a
is.
while to kind of get into it, and it was a lot drier in like the comedy than I remembered.
Yes.
It was not as funny. I was like, who is this movie for? Because like kids aren't going to really vibe with this kind of humor, I don't think.
I know.
And there's not that much Santa in it.
No, there isn't. It's a lot of Tim Allen.
so I thought it was drier than I remembered, but I thought it was
Yeah.
then funnier than I remembered.
Yeah, I laughed quite a bit.
I loved.
Well,
quite a
that's
bit.
like the dryness worked with my age, but that's what I'm wondering. Like as
Like, as a
kids,
kid,
like
yeah.
did they really like? Because I remember this being really funny as a kid, but I think a lot of it too was I was remembering the second movie. Like
Okay.
parts
The
of the
second
I'm-
movie's crazy.
I don't know
Yeah,
anything
I've
about the
seen-
other two. I know the third one has Martin Short as Jack Frost in it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what the
Yeah,
second
the-
one is.
the
at all.
next
Did they
two
make
are-
a fourth one, or is it just that one?
Just the three.
No,
Okay.
there's a show on
yeah,
Disney
yeah, yeah.
Plus called The
I haven't watched
Santa
that.
Clauses. And it
Oh,
had 2
God.
seasons, one in
the fine
2022
print.
and one in 2023, and it has recurring actors and stuff.
It's still Tim Allen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting 1, 2, and 3 mixed up because I've seen them all a billion times, and the majority of 2 and 3 take place in the North Pole.
That's what I was kind of
And
wanting.
I kind of was expecting more of that in this one too.
Yeah. It was cool. The North Pole gave me like Willy Wonka vibes.
Yeah.
Just with the scenery and stuff, I was like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
cool." Except the
No,
Oompa Loompas are children.
Yeah, I really like the way they designed the
Yeah.
North Pole because
Oh, yeah.
it felt tangible, but still a little magical.
I also really liked the completely ass CGI.
Oh my
Like
god,
it's really,
so
really,
so
really
bad.
Freaking him going down the chimneys.
Really
Oh,
bad.
So rough.
Just this.
They just like warp the
bad
whole
warp.
screen because they have no idea what they're doing. And
I
I'm
want
like,
to know what he did. Like, how does that look when you're filming it? Like, how did he act?
Is he
Did he just go,
standing still?
whoa? And then
Probably.
probably.
hand cut.
All right, be a wacky inflatable man.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Can we get it again, Tim? For like 30 minutes of him just wiggling. Yeah, it's bad. But I thought
Squirm a little more.
I thought the animatronic reindeer were charming. I liked
Yeah.
Comet and his little face. That was cool. No, I like the setup is hilarious to me. The whole, Santa's. Oh, now okay, I had never seen it, but obviously it was inescapable. Parts of this movie, like I knew that he killed Santa, right?
Sure.
And like I knew that he was gonna get fat and get a beard and try to shave it, and it grows back. Like that kind of stuff is just from watching like You know when like TBS would do a block of Christmas movies or whatever,
Yeah.
or ABC or whoever, and they have like those previews. Like that was always the scene. You pointed out a scene that was like, which one was it? I don't remember.
It was the interrogation where he says all the names of Santa Claus. Papa Caesar. I was like, that was the commercial. That and then like, does this look like a little white to you? And he jiggles his belly.
And it makes that
gross
noise.
noises.
I've seen that commercial 10,000 times.
So yeah, we weren't big. This is like, it's odd that I've seen all those commercials but never really seen this movie. I feel like I've seen parts of it, like the first North Pole, the first time he's there and he's talking to the elf, and I remember, and maybe also from the commercials, I remember the reading of the card, but again, that could have been just in the preview or whatever. So, but no, I never sat down and watched this. We were more of I forget what the company that did the claymation movies, Year Without Santa Claus,
Yeah, I don't know
Santa
what
Claus
they're
is Coming to Town,
called.
Jack Frost, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That was more our bag. Christmas Story, like
classics.
holy cow! I've probably seen Christmas Story 150 times.
Yeah, same.
Just from because TBS puts it on 24-hour loop starting Christmas Eve, and we would watch it at least twice on Christmas Eve, and then it would just be on a loop all day until football came on Christmas Day. So that's like my Christmas movie. We were Christmas Story people, and of course like the original animated Grinch from like the 60s or whatever.
Yeah.
We
I
watched
don't think
that.
I've seen that
But
one.
even the
Oh,
new
that's
one,
the
the Jim Carrey
Grinch.
one.
I've seen the Jim Carrey one.
Yeah.
That's
The
Jim
a
Carrey
bit
one's
better.
really good.
I like both.
But that's the Grinch.
Both have their place.
Like if I close my eyes and picture Cindy Lou Who, it's animated Cindy Lou Who from
Yes.
like 50 years ago.
No, me too.
That was more of our bag. We weren't really this Tim Allen or there's others that I just didn't watch.
Home Alone. You weren't really into Home Alone.
I didn't see Home Alone until
Really?
5 years ago or less
Huh.
for the first time. Yeah, I don't know. Just didn't. It just
What was your
wasn't mine.
impression of that one then?
Home Alone?
Yeah.
I liked Home Alone. Home Alone and Sandlot impressed upon me very similarly. They have reputations that are absolutely impossible to live up to.
Right. Yeah.
I feel
Absolutely
like
impossible.
Sandlot.
But you can kind
More
of
than Home
see
Alone.
watching them like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, well, 100%.
Like, it's absurd, it's ridiculous, but yeah, I get it.
It's
Like,
one of those, like Nick has had this experience with some of the animated Disney shows we've watched for the shows. Like, I wish I saw this 20 years ago. It was my thought for.
Yeah.
And I saw Sandlot probably at 16 or 17, but that had the baseball element, so that helps,
Yes.
you know, and it had Darth Vader's in it, which is cool. You know, that one's got more lines too.
Yeah. I feel
That's
like
a
that's
notable
more of
movie.
a moment than Home Alone is, but maybe I'm wrong.
Home Alone, the whole thing was like him setting the traps and, you know, heating the doorknob and doing all that stuff and like basically murdering
Shaving his
Joe
face.
Pesci. Yeah, which is cool. But this movie's interesting because I could tell watching it, like it's what Carl and I were saying at the beginning of the show. Like this is a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes feeling movie, but I don't care. Like it's a movie that wants to be liked. Does that make sense?
Yes. Like in the same
think so, but
category
I
as
want
like a
another-
Fast and the
I want an
Furious.
example.
I'm trying to
But-
think of other
Kind
parallels.
of.
Like it's not.
But
It's
that
not,
makes it seem like it's not likable.
No, that's the exact opposite of what I'm saying. I'm saying that it is more likable than it is like
Than it
technically
deserves to
good.
be.
Yeah.
If it is, it's all on the shoulders of Tim Allen. Like he's carrying.
Oh yeah.
Like the kid's
Yeah.
kind of annoying.
I like the
The rest
kids.
of the
Tim Allen and
Yeah.
the ELFS.
The
Thank God
ELFS
for
was,
the
They're
ELF.
so cool, dude.
what I was saying in that scene to Danielle was on the ELFS. It's like the elf special forces. It's super cool.
Yeah.
I remember reading the acronym on one of their shirts and going, "That's clunky," and they could have written a better acronym, but I don't remember what it was. The ELFS was dope, and I was like, "Those 4 kids
Yeah.
on set must have been insufferable
Thought they were so cool.
because
Just the one kid's delivery is like, man, this guy thinks he is the shit.
And he's right,
Everything
though.
he's
Charlie, don't worry. We're the good guys.
as far as
That
like,
was dumb. Like obviously.
but he's right. Like they're getting to sit in like cool outfits with jetpacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're your worst nightmare. Elves with attitude.
The fireplaces. I want to talk about a little bit of the technicality of being Santa. So the Santa magic,
lot.
they do a
What are
pretty
the
good
rules?
job of, especially if you're a kid watching this that still believes in Santa, they do a good job of like one of the things I remember, and I got cured of believing in Santa quite young because my parents were quite religious. So I was young, like 4 or 5, when we were told Santa wasn't real. And
Oh, you were told?
So you were told.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because I was going to ask the group, like, what was your moment that you found out?
I was told I was told because I found out. Because I got 2 of the same thing under the tree on accident.
Oh, no.
Santa would never.
Exactly.
Yeah, he checked it twice. How could this happen?
Exactly. And it was old enough that we were in the old house. So it had to have been 1999. So before 1999 or no, it had to have been 1999. So they're 4 years old. I got 2 of the same matching Buzz Lightyear action figures. So we had to go return one. And returning one doesn't make sense when toys are made at the North Pole. That's what I remember. My parents might listen to this and go, "You dumbass, that's not how you learn." But I was young. And so then I got this stupid, shitty superiority complex, like when friends that were younger than me still believed in
Sounds
Santa.
about right for you.
And I was like, I had the wherewithal to never ruin it for them.
Yeah.
But internally, he was like, "You idiot."
I wasn't evil, but internally I was like, we're still doing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this still, we're 10 now.
Yeah.
like,
What are we doing this for?
I feel like 10's probably a good.
yeah. I believed in
Yeah.
Santa till like 4th grade.
I don't know how old that is. How old is that?
I don't know.
10 or 11, yeah?
I
What
think
clued you in?
So maybe 9, 10, 11, that ish. 11's like 6th grade, so that's too old. My parents messed up the tooth fairy somehow. I think they might have messed it up for my sister.
And she's too smart. She's too smart.
So I think it was my sister had something with the tooth fairy, and I was standing there looking at my mom, and I was like, "Are you the tooth fairy?" And she was like, "Yes." And then I was like,
Yes.
"Are you the Easter bunny?" And she's like, "Yes." I was like,
It's going up the
Things
list.
started,
"Are
yeah.
you Santa?" Yeah.
Yeah.
She was honest.
That must have been a bad night.
I don't really remember beyond
Yeah,
asking
the-
the question.
Your mythology was
The
trash.
trifecta there was just devastated.
Yeah, all at once ruined. No more
Yeah.
magic.
Rip that Band-Aid right off.
Dang.
Nick, do you remember?
I was like 5 or 6, and I remember going to the mall one year to see Santa,
Ooh.
and like fully bought in. Like, that's Santa. I'm going to go tell him everything. Like, this is how it works. Next year we go back to the mall, and I remember going, "It's not the same guy. That's not Santa. Wait a minute."
You had to buddy the elf.
You're not Santa.
Santa.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Now, they didn't just tell you, like, my grandparents would tell me, like, that's not Santa, that's one of his elves,
yeah.
because
That's a
Santa doesn't have
spokesperson.
time to be at the mall.
A representative.
So that was
Delegator
the,
now. He's
yeah,
management.
that was the cover. They didn't come up with
Yeah.
any covers.
No, I don't think so. I think I just kind of put it together, and they were probably just like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
good job."
man.
Nice.
It's
Carl?
probably a relief to not have to keep up the
Yeah.
the
The charade. Yeah.
So I was pretty young too. I remember getting a call from quote unquote Santa and recognizing the voice as somebody that was from the
no.
church that I used to go to, and I was like,
You're like,
"Oh,
Bill?"
no." But yeah, I was like, "Don, like, Don Prunty, is that you?" Like, but I remember being like, I was young, but I still was like, I'm gonna go along with it so I don't hurt his feelings, you know? Like, this probably means a lot to
What a
him.
guy.
Similar for
Because
different
I was
people.
like, anybody that would go to the effort of doing this must mean a lot to them. So I went along with it, and then I remember like hanging up the phone and being like shaking, like I was like, what's it was like my whole world had been shattered, you know. I was just like, man, what else is it true? But yeah,
It's
it was.
interesting that,
else?
that both of our responses to having the illusion removed was to protect that illusion for others.
Yeah.
It's like a societal thing. You don't, you know, everybody
Same
keeps
with
up
Elf
the
on the Shelf.
charade.
I thought my friends' moms
Yeah.
were dumb for letting my friends like ride it out for like twice the amount of time I did. But now I'd be like, let them, like, why not?
Why not?
And then if like one of my, if we had a kid,
At
and one of
what
their friends
age?
ruined it, I'm gonna go kill that kid.
But at what age do you have to be like, "Listen"?
10. That'd be when
10?
I was like, yeah, 10. Because at that point you're really figuring stuff out. 9 or 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or let it happen, like Danielle and you. Like once you figure it out. Like I'm not gonna. If it started to sniff it
You're not
out,
gonna
I'm
be
not gonna
like-
protect the
You're not gonna
illusion
keep going.
beyond a point.
You're not going to be like the new husband in the movie and be like, "Listen, it's not logical that a man could go around the world."
No, because that guy's just
Santa's
like
a
that's-
feeling.
You would
What did
think
he
as
say?
This is a feeling. What?
you'd think as a psychiatrist he wouldn't be such an asshole about letting kids live an illusion for a little bit.
I was
I mean,
so
we saw
mad
how
at
he
these
was in
parents.
Gremlins.
Yeah.
It's true.
These parents were so just dramatic. Like, he's a little boy believing in Santa. Little kids make stuff up and live in imaginary worlds all the time.
Yeah.
Relax.
Why was that? It's a weird line to draw.
It's a weird hill to die
that
on.
felt like an overreaction, but the reaction to him changing and everything, that kind of felt grounded, because I was like, yeah, I guess if somebody started to physically change, like that was kind of the funnest part of this movie as an adult, is like, how would I react if somebody came into the office weighing like 50 pounds more?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, because I would be like, well, that is odd. Like that is very
in
strange.
a
Like,
tracksuit. But like
Yeah.
what did I wrote down some frustrations, not frustrations. The onboarding process for becoming Santa.
There isn't one.
It's a bit lackluster in it. Like the card, you got to read the card. So they rope-a-dope you into becoming Santa. I think that's fine, because without that, we don't have a movie or a title. Santa Claus with the knee at the end that I whiffed. It's one of the side effects is I now know how to spell Santa Claus properly, because I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice the title.
Yeah, me neither.
I did notice. But yeah, they get into the North Pole and they explain nothing. All they say is you have 11 months to get your your whatever's in order.
Could have given him a heads up that like his body was going to change.
Yeah, for why he needs to get his
Yeah.
ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Because it's like Thanksgiving the next year, and now he's fat and he can't shave, and the list gets delivered. And we don't do a lot with the list.
No.
You know, he gets the list. It fills up like the whole first floor of his house. He'll just know when it's naughty and nice. I guess the glimpse we get is when he's walking on the sidewalk. He's like, "What's her face? Nice. This kid sucks. Naughty. Blah blah blah." But like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. But yeah,
if he can just do that.
I don't get
Maybe that was
why-
after he went through it all. Like, because he does go through like phases where he's
maybe.
like really immersed with like the Santa, like when he was at work and he was saying stuff. So
do the elves
it
just
comes in
like
waves.
to haze Santa in a way by like not telling him? Like, is that their little bit of fun they get before he's like
maybe a little
starts to act like their
necessary evil.
boss? You know? Yeah. So I'm not mad about it at all.
I want to go. Wait, do you want to finish?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I want to go back to what you were saying about the Santa magic though in this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
'Cause then we got off on a tangent. Well,
Yeah, we
good,
did.
good tangent about our Santa.
No,
Claus
this show's never
boys.
gotten off on any tangents. This is a tangent free show.
But I
Don't
feel
go on
like
any
the Santa
tangents.
magic was really like it was good. It made
Yeah, what I was
sense.
trying to say was
Santa
is
magic.
that if you're a kid, especially, so we're all in Florida except for Carl, but he grew up here. We're all in Florida. We're Floridian people, which means we don't really have chimneys.
Nope.
Now you grew up in West Virginia. Did you have a
Yeah.
chimney?
Yes.
Okay.
Almost every house we lived in.
Cheater. The three of us grew up. Unless Carl, did your house have a chimney?
We did have a chimney. Yeah.
Danielle, did your house have a chimney?
My first house.
Son of a bitch!
Loser!
But my second
It
and
still
third
gets
house.
Florida
did.
cold.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. And there are houses here with chimneys. There's
Most houses probably don't have
one
chimneys.
or two houses in our neighborhood with chimneys.
We don't have one.
We don't have one. I've never lived in a house with a chimney. I think chimneys are magical things that we didn't have. So one of the questions you have when you're a kid growing up in houses without chimneys is, how the hell does Santa get in here? And the answer is through the dryer vent, apparently.
Yep.
But like, I appreciate that he goes through the little tube and then a fireplace materializes. But one of the other things I wanted to bring up is every fireplace, with the exception of one that we see in the movie, is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. You could park my car in some of these fireplaces.
Well,
But
if they're not
I-
real, that makes sense.
Right.
Like, just give yourself room.
But it
make it
wasn't-
as big as you want.
But
It wasn't
two of
super-
them didn't change at all.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not super clear. And like it's the house with the canoe that he pulls out of the sack. Like that fireplace is normal sized. But the couple houses we see before that have absolutely monstrous, like master bathtub size, like huge
This is just a rich neighborhood.
fireplaces. But I like how the radiator like turned into the fireplace and the the little girls, whatever, and he's all pissed off and doesn't have a beard yet, and she's still buying it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to drink the milk.
I'm lactose intolerant. Then he's got soy milk the next time, which is good.
It's a good callback.
It's a good call.
You would think becoming Santa, you would just lose any of the lactose intolerance, but maybe not.
Yeah, I wrote down the first fireplace is huge. The next one was even bigger, like a radiator turned into a fireplace. So we can assume that Santa's magic makes some fireplaces bigger.
He's got a little bit of padding.
Yeah, that's the main thing about the Santa magic that I liked was if there's no fireplace, one will happen. You know.
Yep.
But this I don't think is a movie. All right, here's a question. You have a kid. They're 6. Are you putting this movie on? Because I think if you put this movie on, you're kind of asking to have questions asked about whether Santa's real or not. because the adult, you know what I mean? Like, do they kind of bring it around? Yeah. But you spend the majority of this movie is people being like, it's ridiculous to believe in Santa. But in a way that's not... It's not as gentle about it as other Christmas movies.
And is the payoff,
Yeah.
the closure clear enough for the
I don't
kid?
think so. I think this is
Yeah.
one that you put on maybe right after they've figured it out.
Yeah, a little bit later.
Man, I
Like,
wonder.
Maybe you're wrong. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be too careful.
And then you
did-
you get into the whole Christmas spirit, which is the point. Like, you know,
Yeah. Did the kid who played Charlie learn there was no Santa by filming this movie?
see, that's another.
Ooh. Well, I mean,
I don't know.
not
Or did he
necessarily.
just think we're making a
A
movie about
Santa
this
story.
very
We're
real
doing a
thing?
documentary. Yeah.
I think a lot of the child actors in this movie were pretty dang good.
Yeah.
I thought the
Yeah.
lead kid was quite good.
Bernard.
Bernard was
reminds
good.
me of Nick Miller a lot.
Yes.
My favorite though was Judy.
Judy's good.
That kid actress. And I looked her up. She's now an HR professional for some corporation. She's not in acting
That
anymore.
scans.
She's probably still making
But-
Coco though.
Her line delivery was 10 out of 10. I was
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
impressed because normally kid actors like
Yeah.
they suck, you know, like in Phantom
how do
Menace.
you-
This
how do
is
you
so
do that as a
wizard,
kid?
Annie. But
Yeah.
this one they crush it. All the
Yeah.
kids were quite good.
Thanks, but I'm
In my-
seeing someone in rapping.
Like like they give her pretty adult lines and her delivery is really good.
Yeah.
In my head, I remembered Bernard being like 30 years old.
Yes. Same.
I looked it up. He was just 16 at
Yeah.
the time.
He was just a foot
He does
taller
feel
than the
older
other
than
kids.
16, but
Yeah.
not 30.
Yeah.
Tim Allen's
Well, he's like
character-
1,000 years old. So.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Tim Allen's character is supposed to be 37. He was a couple years older.
He
than me.
looks so much old. I work with a guy who's 37. He does not look that old.
It's the style of like
Yeah.
clothes and stuff. Yeah, I've watched some videos on this. Like, why do people in the past, like for example, the generation of kids like that we grew up around that's a little bit older than us, like Tyler and them.
Yeah.
they're
Like,
high
they're
s-
37.
They're in like, but when they were in like high school, they felt significantly older than us to when we
Yeah.
Have you
were
ever
in high
seen-
school. And it's a little bit of like the fact that we were young perceiving it, and also like the style and just the way the world was around that time.
Have you seen videos of like high school from like early 2000s?
That's exactly what I'm
Yes.
talking
yeah,
about.
it's insane. They all look like they're 25, 30.
Right,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's just our perception. Like, we can't help but remember that time from when we were around, like, when we were the age that we were back then.
Yeah.
You know, like kids that are in high school in 2002. I was 7-ish. How the hell old was I in 2000? It doesn't matter.
About 7.
7, I think.
Yeah.
And it's like those were basically grown people
Yeah.
to us. So it's interesting. There's a lot of YouTube videos on like, you know, fashion and stuff. Like when you look up, like, why does it seem older? And, you know,
That's kind of how we felt too with Groundhog's Day. Like everyone felt older and like, I don't know, they feel more normal.
I think one of the things legitimately about it is
They're not as pretty.
no, it's that we wore sunscreen.
You think?
Yeah. We don't have the sun damage that generations ago had.
Yeah.
That's why we're holding up.
We're not oiling up our skin to
Yeah.
bake
Yeah.
the radiation.
I barely go outside.
Yeah, me either. It's gross.
I wonder what vaping is
That's
doing
worse.
to people too.
Vaping? I don't know. I don't do
Yeah.
that because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
It's probably not good.
Nah. I smoke
fine.
unfiltered cigarettes like a man. I actually smoke
Roll
a
your
pipe
own.
like a grandfather. In
Oh
truth.
my God. Speaking of Groundhog's Day, I tried to segue, but you guys let it get away. The
Speaking of a movie that's nothing like this.
I just brought it up, and then whatever. There's a couple people that were going to be the lead in this movie instead of Tim Allen.
I looked this up.
One of them was Bill Murray.
Yeah.
I could see
The
that.
other, Chevy Chase.
They both turned it down.
Okay.
Which Chevy Chase at the time, that could have worked.
Yeah.
I don't know, in the 90s, he was pretty solidly Chevy Chase the asshole in the 90s.
But when was
Yeah.
Christmas
I was
Vacation?
going to say, Christmas Vacation was the late 80s, right?
Yeah, it's still post
so.
SNL.
Yeah.
SNL is what, like,
I mean, Christmas
really-
Vacation, I love.
The problem with me with
I haven't seen it.
I have seen it and I couldn't like it. I couldn't,
Because of current
I
day?
couldn't like it because I know about Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
and I know that he's such a piece of shit that I can't like it. We were watching at her parents'
My
house, like,
family
when we
really
were dating.
yeah, my family really
And I'm
likes
just
it.
going, I hate this guy. Like, he's not. And some of the movie, like, is that he's kind of, I don't know. I can't like him. I cannot like Chevy Chase. And like some bad, like, kind of not bad, but semi rough shit has come out about Bill Murray, but he's so likable
Yeah.
that, and he's Bill Murray. Like,
can't
I don't
help
know
but
why
like
Bill Murray gets a pass and Chevy Chase doesn't. It's probably because of Community and all that
Yeah.
jazz, and like, you know, we're all Dan Harmon fans and blah blah blah. So Chevy Chase is the worst
The
guy.
enemy.
Yeah.
Like, him and Joel McHale came to blows on set multiple times. Because he's just the worst.
Just
the
like in the
worst.
show.
No other cast member missed Chevy Chase after he left that show. Chevy
Yeah.
Chase is a monster. So no, I can't get on board with the National Lampoon stuff just because of Chevy. So that's
I don't
hard.
think most of it's very good.
No.
Like, I feel like
Yeah.
the first one, Vacation, was funny, and then Christmas Vacation, but I've not heard anything good about the rest of them.
Yeah. Well, at
Maybe
that
that's
point-
wrong, but
At that point, you're milking it
Yeah.
dry, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
lightning struck twice. It's not going to strike a third,
Yeah.
fourth.
I saw
man.
another fact that Harrison Ford was considered
Whoa.
for
Wow.
the Tim Allen role, which I don't think would have scanned. It would have been it would have been less silly.
Although,
Yeah.
I don't see Harrison Ford coming
God,
around.
Could you imagine
well,
Han
he's
doing
Solo,
Accepted.
Blade Runner, Indiana Jones, Santa?
Santa?
What a Mount Rushmore.
that'd be pretty lit. He's in a
Yeah.
comedy role now. There's some. I think it's an Apple TV Plus show.
Shrinking?
Yes, and apparently it's a comedy, and apparently his comedic acting is very good. But Harrison Ford's funny.
See,
Watch
that's-
an interview.
He's funny.
Dude, he's
yeah,
so
but
good.
he hasn't really done too many comedic roles, has he?
No, it's because he's the gruff action.
Yeah.
Like, action is, you know. Like,
That's the audience failing the actor. We're expecting him to be.
he got typecast.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you're back to back, Han Solo, Indiana Jones, you're gonna be Han Solo, Indiana Jones in everything you do. The Fugitive, Air Force
is
One,
Probably why he's so bitter at this point.
Well, it's
He's
well,
a little grumpy, isn't he?
I think that Harrison Ford gets a bad rap for how much he just doesn't care about Star Wars, and I'll defend him on that position because Harrison Ford is an actor doing a job.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like, you know, and there are, it just depends on, I guess, the line where you're at as an actor. Like, you know, all the Doctor Who's like love the fact that they're Doctor Who, and they
Well, and like with the Wicked cast,
Well,
like
they're just-
it's more than just a job. Like,
Never
have you
mind.
seen some of?
you
had to bring that
have
up.
I
He's
seen
gonna
some of
hate. He
it?
was gonna hate on him.
We actually can't talk about it because I don't want Wicked fans to find my house and burn it down. But
My point being, there's a difference between how that some actors approach.
yeah, and I think some actors need to relax and just be people and not grab index fingers and be weird.
Let's hold space.
Weird.
Let's hold
They're
space.
they're weird.
Your
But they're-
Goldblum's coming out.
But they're theater kids. And you know what theater kids are? And I can say this as a person who was homeschooled from first grade through high school. Theater kids are weird. They're just weird. They make me really uncomfortable.
I don't think they would deny that.
No.
We have to bring up Wicked in every episode from now on. Like, we bring up Star Wars in every episode. We've gone on a good run.
I was going to say.
we
when
got to
you-
keep it going.
I was going to say, when you have Wicked tattooed on your arm, but you do.
I do, actually. I mean, it's a lot less of a committed tattoo than
Well,
your
just because
Star
you're
Wars
just a
sleeve.
smarter person than I am.
Yeah, I don't want that many tattoos.
You didn't turn it into a sleeve.
Hey.
That would be so cheesy. I mean, no, that'd be cheesy. I was like, Wizard of Oz
You could do,
sleeve?
no,
Wizard of
you
Oz
could do
sleeve?
some really cool stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you expand it to Wizard of Oz, flying monkeys are cool. You could get the Scarecrow's gun.
Flippers or yeah.
Of all the things to go to, Scarecrow's gun.
Oh, but
That's
come
what we're
on,
going
like,
to.
Like, but his hand holding it, but like cut it off with some straw coming out
A
of the
bucket
wrist.
of water.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
I'll just get a road like all the way up and down my body.
Like
Yeah.
the
Just
lion.
bricks.
You could get like a scroll like my rookies.
Just square, like a squares of the Yellow Brick Road.
You just look like a perfect game of Tetris.
Up and down my arms.
I hate Tetris. I'm bad at it. Bad at it. It's a frustrating game.
used to like
when the pieces
Tetris.
start going really fast, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Too much stress.
Sorry, Elfie, what are you doing?
You scared her.
She
Poor
looks
Elfie.
insane. Oh, what were we talking about? Some.
I had a Chevy Chase note that, but I want to see if you guys agree. Is Tim Allen blue collar Seinfeld with some Chevy Chase dropped in there?
I'll say this: Tim Allen thinks he's blue collar Seinfeld.
Because so much of the delivery of what he was doing, I was like, wow, that kind of reminded me of a Seinfeld delivery, but like it was dry, like Chevy Chase's kind of humor.
There's a little bit of a difference, I think. Tim
Yeah.
Allen can act.
Yeah.
I don't think Seinfeld can act. Seinfeld has acted, but he can't act. What Seinfeld can do is just be himself in a show where he's himself playing himself.
Yeah.
That's the extent of that. No, Tim Allen is an actor. Now, he's definitely Tim Allen in stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't think, for example, that you could throw Seinfeld in a VO booth and have a usable, likable character like Buzz Lightyear.
There's a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like, he tried that. Like,
Yeah.
what was the last venture Jerry Seinfeld took in acting? The shitty Pop-Tart
Bee? The
movie.
Pop-Tarts,
No.
yeah.
Oh, that's he did do the B movie. But the B movie is not loved because it's good. It's loved because it's a bit.
Yeah.
And really, it's only loved modernly because of that YouTube video, the B movie. But every time they say B or whatever,
It
it
goes
speeds
faster.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, genius.
And the fact that the girl wants to have sex with a bee, it's crazy. That's an
Wait,
insane.
Never
What?
seen that movie.
You've never seen the B movie?
No.
No,
We
can't-
rented it.
I
on
think I watched
cable
the really
once.
fast one.
Yeah. No, Seinfeld. I don't know. I think that like actor to actor. This might be a bold take. I think Tim Allen's a better actor than Jerry Seinfeld. I think Seinfeld.
Just a lot of his dialogue reminded me of like I was like I could see Seinfeld saying that.
Now that-
like or
that-
even acting kind of the same way.
Yeah.
You don't like Denny's? It's an American institution.
But he can't do the like. I think he can do. He can't exactly. They're different. I don't know. They are kind of similar, Carl. I think you
They're very similar. They're
Yeah.
like they occupy a similar space where it's like it's kind of the everyman, but one's a little bit more like I'm Jewish, I guess, and then one's a little bit more blue collar. But like, because Jerry's not really white collar either, but he's a different flavor.
I think Tim Allen in this movie, though. I think you want. I find myself wanting to relate to Tim Allen more, and I want to watch Seinfeld. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when I watch Seinfeld, on a level you do kind of relate to Jerry because he can be the straight man in many, many, many episodes.
I think he usually is. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for when Elaine is.
But Elaine kind of becomes a character later.
Yeah, right. But like Tim Allen, like you're watching it and just going, I don't know. I found myself like wanting to like Tim Allen in this movie a lot.
I think it's that Tim Allen's delivery is a little bit more subtle.
Yeah, and a little more real. Like Jerry's got the voice, you know, and that smirk.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's his
He does,
inflection.
like, yeah.
He's like, "What do you mean?"
What I
like
can't
he's
see-
performing, whereas
Right.
Tim Allen just is kind of reacting.
Yeah.
What I can't see is Seinfeld dressed up like Santa.
No.
Doesn't work the same.
No.
I celebrate Hanukkah.
I don't think he would do that movie. Be like, you're ruining my image.
Yeah.
I'm not a fat guy. I'll never be a fat guy. Wouldn't be able to fit in
I'm needing
many
them thin.
Porsches. Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting, though.
There's no chimneys in New York City.
No.
There probably are a lot of chimneys.
That-
I don't,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't go there. The Big Apple.
But there's so
apples
many
are gross.
rooms that aren't attached to the chimneys. So how do you get into those rooms that are just like little boxes
don't know, it's
inside
gotta
a
be like
Don't
building?
believe, do you?
It's more just concerned about how packed in everything is in New York. There's so many
I
just
also- yeah.
rooms.
I wonder too. On that night, did he finish every single house? Was there only like 20 houses left?
Right, was
Like
he at the
how
end?
many did he? Yeah. How much did he do?
I think part of the magic is Santa has to have some kind of like strange time continuum deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not real time.
It's not real. It's
Let's-
slowed
But-
time.
OG Santa was so loud up on that roof.
Oh yeah.
Like
that was-
you would
clatter.
wake up anybody. How
Yeah.
has he not been dead 15 times? Maybe he
And
has
the-
been.
Here's
That's why there's the
here's my
claws.
theory.
Yeah.
Maybe the real Santa died earlier that night, and then that guy was just
That was
another
already-
guy that had just taken over, and he's being real clumsy.
Except Santa Claus.
Huh.
What I know from doing Wikipedia crawling is that the Santa that fell off the roof in the beginning of this was Santa Claus 17. And he returns in either the Santa Claus 3 or in the Santa Claus's show, played by a different actor.
Huh.
So we do get more backstory.
Dang, I don't remember
And
that.
and like they actually like kind of retcon his death from what I understand. And he goes into like some
What?
kind of ethereal plane.
Santa heaven?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, it's like a Men in Black program. You get to go back to your real life.
Something. I
The
don't know.
North Pole.
One time, me, my mom, and my sister were at this restaurant, right? And we walk in. It's called the Columbia House. It's very big and large.
Oh yeah.
So we walk in, and it's just full of Santas.
That's
Like, I'm not even kidding. And I've told this story to other people, and they're like, yeah, that's a thing. And I'm like, who's the group of Santas that goes to eat in December at the Columbia House? Where do they come from? Why are they there? Why at the Columbia? What?
Yeah. Why
it
is
was
that fun?
just Santas.
what's funny
Is it just because that's the only place that can fit that many people?
you could
I don't know.
probably just asked. You could have gone up and sat
They're
on
like,
their
what
lap,
is what is this?
What is your deal?
just picked to Santa's lap, sat on
is
it, and been like, "What are we doing here?"
But they were all
the
like
meaning
really
of this?
good, like legit bearded, like
There's
you know,
no,
like a
oh,
high
own
quality
beards.
Santa.
Like real beards.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Wow,
interesting.
committed.
it was crazy.
Because you got to start growing those in like June, maybe earlier.
I don't know how long beards take to grow.
Well, you can be like a career Santa.
Career Santa.
you're out of work for 11 months.
Like
Yeah.
there's this couple around town. Apparently, he's like Santa at everything
Yep.
because he's like the best
Isn't
Santa.
his wife?
I
Mrs.
see him at
Claus?
coffee
Yeah.
shops all the time.
Yeah, they've
really?
got like the nice
That was
velvet
the other
outfits.
thing. What about Mrs. Claus?
Santa Claus
You
2, bro.
need to
Second
watch
movie.
the second,
I know.
yeah.
No. But like
What happened to his
the
Mrs.
original,
Claus?
Oh, right.
the original
Oh.
Santa's
Two?
Mrs. Claus. What happened to her?
Yeah,
That's
does
a
she go
good
down
point.
with the ship and then also die, or does
That
it like?
sucks. If your husband falls off the roof, you just get to die too. Nah,
I mean,
She's
you
just
wanna
sent
live-
into North Pole and just starts to disappear. Just go,
disappear.
They don't
The
die.
patriarchy.
They get teleported. I don't think that Mrs. Claus died. I think they get teleported like to Key West or something. That'd be ideal. It's like now,
It's like
now
a
you're
nice
going to
retirement
Florida.
plan.
You know the
Now you're going to
commercials
Florida.
with the Corona commercial with the palm tree that's like, and they whistle.
Yes.
Yeah, you know that commercial's
Just-
been around since 1992, and they still
I
air
don't know
it.
what you're talking about.
It's like the Hershey
perfect.
Kiss commercial.
So there's this thing called television, and on
I've
it,
heard of it.
There's things like cable, which is money you have to buy for cable, right?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
on cable, there's this things that you don't know anything about at all, called sports. And during sports, what Americans like to do, and other nations as well, is when we watch our sports, we like to drink beer. So there are beer commercials.
Yeah. I'm
Right, and
following.
this one has been on television for like 32 years.
TV's that old?
Yeah, oh yeah, at least 33 years.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a
Maybe
really
more.
it's a really classic commercial that's literally inescapable if you've watched the television. You know the Santa Claus
know-
M&M's commercial? He does exist. They do exist.
Yeah.
It's the beer version of that. Same deal. Like that commercial's also been going for like
Dang.
30 years. There's that commercial and the beer commercial and like I don't know. Now Coke is using dumbass AI to make polar bear commercials, but back then
What
that
it
was like
is-
the holy
don't-
trinity of timeless consumerist Christmas television commercials.
Growing up, I
Timeless
probably went, ooh,
consumerist.
beer, and covered my eyes.
Can't
Right.
look at beer.
Beer's
But
the
now
devil.
I'm sipping moonshine.
Now you're literally drinking moonshine.
I feel
It's
like
not- it's not great.
Coca-Cola shouldn't be allowed to run ads. It's over 100 years old. We get it.
It's like
Right.
it's like Kleenex. Like Kleenex.
You're a
never
what they
soda.
shouldn't be allowed to do is phone it in and use AI.
Yeah,
You've
right.
got the budget.
That, or if they are going to spend how many millions on an ad, they need to give that many millions to schools or something.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
All right,
it's
I like it.
crazy.
Like
Just, like you're 100 years old. Who doesn't know about Coke? What are you doing? Stop wasting the money. Drives me nuts. I hate it so much. It drives me
what-
crazy.
The soda like commercial thing that I like, it gets posted on Facebook every so often and Instagram and stuff is like, no one's ever seen a root beer commercial. It's just like A&W, Mug, and Barks are just quietly battling out on the shelves. Like
It makes me like it more.
they're not
Yeah.
they're not spending any ad
Yeah.
dollars. They're just putting it onto their.
Let it go
product.
back to word of mouth. Just see where that gets you. Like, it's we
There are
get it.
things
It's
that
where
we
it
just
got
simply
7-Up?
don't need commercials for. Coke, we're not going to stop buying Coke.
No.
Toilet paper, like we need that.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
Like-
Kleenex doesn't run ads, but that I remember, but Puffs does, and it's because no one buys that shit.
I hate puffs.
Puffs are trash.
Too much.
But a nose in need deserves
It's
puffs
too
indeed.
lotiony.
don't
My
wanna-
hands get sticky. They like I
I
don't.
don't know that I've ever
Nobody
used that.
wants
That sounds awful.
Oily ass
I don't
tissue.
want an oily tissue.
I think it's to like prevent, like, you know, when you're sick and it's like day 4 and your nose is just
Yeah.
raw from tissues.
Oh yeah, you need a puffs.
You need a Puffs, but
I still
you know
don't
what
want- I
also
Or
still
just
don't
put
want
lotion on your
Yeah,
face.
lotion.
Yeah.
Just use it. My nose gets dry sometimes. I have Lubriderm. and I just put it on my nose.
Yeah, I just got CeraVe, one that's lotion, one that's like a wash.
Do you know
Yeah.
Michael Cera created that?
All right.
I do.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. The
That's
guy's a
Super Bowl.
Renaissance man.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. He's in that movie we didn't like very much.
Yeah.
Oh god, don't bring
Carl,
something
like-
I've got
that
a
up.
question. I've got a question because we have 3 designers on this show.
All right,
Shut up.
all
And
right.
Cameron's got a good eye for design. So
No.
in the very beginning, we
Don't
have
flatter
this
me.
this introduction that feels very like God, I forgot the name of the movie. Die Hard. Where we're in like kind of just a big corporate building and there's text overlaid
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just like, what is this? And then they write the Santa Claus, but then the text like has like a wash over that's like, oh, the Santa Claus, it's a script now. And then they like highlight the E. What was the point of the change? Like, why didn't
probably,
they just?
probably to point out the E for dumbasses
That it's
like
like-
us.
But it just
Cool.
started. But they went with like it was like a typewriter font, and then it went to like a script font. So it's like, why did they change? Like it just felt like so unnecessary. It was like such a strange.
It's
I gotta tell you,
Santa's
like-
magical font.
I didn't notice.
It has to be a
I
script.
didn't notice because I
was
turned
like,
on the
maybe
movie.
they're-
And then you went to take a leak.
I went to take a poop.
Oh no!
I listened to the first 2 minutes of the movie from the bathroom.
Are you
That's-
serious? Why would you not pause it?
This is like I've seen this before.
nobody-
It's
Oh,
just
okay,
all
you're
right.
right,
it's
you're
just the
Yeah.
like corporate stuff that
Okay.
doesn't matter.
I forgot that you had seen this. I was like, that's insane to go start a movie and not just
Well, I
pause
started
it.
and went, oh no,
He's-
I gotta go. I'm not gonna pause it though.
yeah. Something's coming down my chimney right now. Time to go. you treat every movie in your home as if it was the movie theater for the true experience. You got to go to the bathroom. You just leave. We watched the
Best part, apparently.
We watched.
Do you also put on like trailers and previews
Yeah.
for movies?
We watched coming soon to Disney Video and DVD. We watched War of the Rohirrim the other night in theaters, the new Lord of the Rings anime movie, and we both went to the bathroom during it, right? Because we got like 24-ounce IPAs in the lobby, which was an excellent decision. And the stark difference in me picking my timing and you picking your timing was very funny. Spoilers for War of the Rohirrim ahead.
Fairly big ones too.
Yes, fairly large ones. So if you haven't seen War of the Rohirrim, which I will say you should do because it's really good, and everyone complaining about the animation style needs to relax. 'Cause it's a good movie. There's like a battle planning scene in that, like, you know, they see some scouts or whatever. And we're gonna have to battle, and let's prep for that. That's when I went to the bathroom, and I just told Speed, I said, I gotta pee. Catch me up. I come back and he goes, they just planned. They talked about battle a little bit. You were good. Nick, about an hour later, goes to the bathroom and comes back, and we were the only people in this theater, so we were talking a little bit because it was a 10:15 showing for a movie that nobody has seen. It's a huge commercial flop. Nobody else is there, so Nick gets back, and there's like 4 of us sitting there, and we're like, okay, so the king, Nick, he's a ghost now, and he's murdering people with his bare hands. And Nick's like, what? You picked the worst time in the whole movie.
I walk back up to our road to just laughing. I'm like, what happened?
So the king's a
And Tyler's like, all right, so he's a ghost now, and he's starting to murder the people. When I went to the bathroom, he was half dead on just laying down.
Yeah. Which is still an insane.
Here's why. Here's why I chose that moment.
Because you're an idiot.
When I have to go, it's like that, and I gotta go.
Okay. I think you're
wording.
It's
actually.
like, oh yeah, like with this movie, it's like, oh, I gotta do this now.
I think you're rubbing off on me because Danielle had a choir concert, a Christmas thing.
Yes.
What was it called? I don't remember.
Pops Goes the Holidays.
Goes the
It was an
Holidays.
orchestral choir concert.
I don't know why it was called that either. I'm very confused about it.
I don't understand. Pops is like a thing. Like there's a
Pops
pop.
goes the weasel.
But that's Pop Goes the Weasel, right?
I think it's
Pops,
maybe
right.
like
Pop goes the weasel.
Is it
Pops.
sponsored by General Mills cereal?
no.
Okay.
Once you pop, the fun don't stop.
Like
Don't stop. Believe it.
Pop Goes the Weasel.
Don't stop believing.
Pops from the regular show?
And seeing is believing. And
2 hours
going.
later.
Yeah, right. So she's got her concert. First act, she's up with us because it was just orchestral, no choir. And I was at a bar beforehand. And then when I walked into the concert venue, out of absolute nervousness, I just ordered another beer that I just didn't need. So full of... And I peed before I left the bar. Walk down. We get 2 songs in. It's Tchaikovsky. I love Tchaikovsky. I love it. I love Swan Lake. I love the Nutcracker music. It's so good. I'm bursting for a pee. To the point where I start to feel ill.
Oh gosh.
And I'm in not by my choice, the middle of the row. This is why I like to be on the end, so I can just go whoop.
Yep.
It's like I'm like clutching sweatily the playbill to see the songs. I'm like, it's the last song. I can't even make it, but I know that she has to get up during the song to go down. So I'm like, we have to go now. And we go downstairs, and I had to pee so bad. But it was just one of those, like, I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it another second. I was like, piss
And I
is
was
going
just
to
so
come out.
confused because he never gets up in the middle of stuff. So I get up to leave and he's following me, and I'm like, what is
And it
wrong
happened
with
again.
you?
before
You're
the-
almost 30.
It was like, yeah, I am almost there. We got 40 minutes in, not even to Werther or him, and I started to feel it. Or 20 minutes in, I started to feel it. I was like, shit, I'm not going to make it 2.5 hours. Because it's a long movie. And I had to get up and pee. I felt like an idiot. So now I'm just going to be one of those people that just,
You're me now.
I have to stop drinking like an hour before like any fluid, or I'm going to pee my pants.
I feel that.
Go piss, girl.
Go piss, girl. Well, this started to be
I love
about
that
Christmas,
format.
and now it's about piss and poo.
As all things are.
I can
And
bring
it
it back
pops.
to Christmas with a question, maybe.
Bring us back, Carl.
Okay, what gift would you have to get to believe it had to be from Santa?
Ooh.
Because they
That's
mentioned
a
that in
good
the movie.
question.
And I don't know that I even have
know.
one,
I had
but I was
really
like,
good Christmases as a kid.
yeah, me too.
Really
Legos like
good
crazy.
ones.
Action figures.
I remember
yeah.
one Christmas we came in and it was unbelievable. I need to ask my parents how. I don't know if Dad got a bonus or what because we didn't have a shitload. We just didn't have a shitload of money growing up. But the tree was absolutely loaded with shit. Like my brother and I got wooden swords and shields that we like nearly killed each other
Nice.
with. And then we opened the tree was spilling into the living room like so much shit under it. And then we opened all of it and they're like not done. There's one more thing. And they took us outside, opened the garage, and we had green machines.
No!
Yeah, those like drifting tricycle things with the huge wheel and the plastic wheels so you could whip them around. And
Things were so crazy to see in the wild.
We wore those things out. We like would draw chalk racetracks on the driveway and drift around corners and smash each other's shins with the big wheel. It was
Nice.
those things were the best, man. So I don't know. As a kid, like when I was a teenager, obviously for Christmas, I was like, I want an Xbox 360 and didn't get one. But like that's like way past Santa time. So I'm not sure if I have Oscar Mayer weenie whistle equivalent.
That at 3 years old, you're not remembering. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No way. Neil.
I want this phallic whistle, and I didn't get
Neil.
it. And that's what, yeah.
Come on,
Neil, you are not having like all these like
And
thoughts
the
at 3.
mystery date game or whatever. I don't even know what
Yeah.
that is. Well,
Yeah,
Carl,
no
you
idea.
must have one if you're.
No, well, I didn't really. I mean, I'm trying to think. It was always like a bike growing up. Like if I got
Okay.
a bike, that was like the thing. But Legos too.
I remember
like,
getting
but
my
Legos
bike.
is pretty obvious to get somebody. Like,
Just shake it, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think for me it would have to be something like magical, like the snow globe that the kid has in the movie, where you can like see things through it.
I just don't know.
Like anything else, I'm just like, good job, Dad.
I had Santa. I had Santa removed from me so young that it was like,
That might be it too. Yeah.
you know, at 4 and 5, you know, I was obsessed with Toy Story. So it was a lot. It was just getting him Toy Story action figures and Buzz Lightyear
Yeah.
pajamas and stuff like that. Like it felt automatic, I guess, back then. Like, you know, I wasn't making lists, I don't think.
Yeah. I believe toys could talk longer than I could in Santa.
I also don't feel like I watched a lot of television, so I didn't have. You know, it was years later with the Nickelodeon toy. You know that stupid like had the little silver marbles and you bounced them on the trampoline. And it was like skee ball and the Nickelodeon commercials. Like I wanted that, but that was like way past Santa time. You know,
What was
Floam?
Floam.
Floam.
I remember.
I remember that name. I don't remember what it was.
That
It was
giant
like
like frisbee
pink,
thing that was
green.
yeah. It was like I don't know moon sand, but it was styrofoam somehow. It was like wet styrofoam.
Yeah.
All right.
It was weird.
Wet
Yeah, what
moon
was
sand.
the bouncy ball thing? There was like a handheld game.
Remember moon
like,
shoes?
Moon shoes bouncing around like
Moon
a kangaroo.
shoes. Oh,
Sock
man.
'em boppers. The friggin'
Yeah, more fun than a pillow fight. I'll tell you.
More fun than a concussion. Like you would just we all have CTE unfounded yet because we were just beating the shit out of each other with sock and boppers at 6, 7 years old. No, I don't know. And then, you know,
Man.
like, I don't know. I had Santa really killed too young to be able to answer that question. And then it was all like, you know, I mean, our generation was the video game generation. It was like, I want Halo 3, man. It's 2007. Let's get this going. Like, so I don't know. Do you have one? Did you have a Santa, like, I didn't get this and I always wanted it as a kid kind of deal?
Not really, but it's funny you brought up bikes because I did have a bike that I remember like wanting at a store. It was pink and black. I can still picture it because pink and black was it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I just remember like just wanting that
still
bike, and my parents were like, "We can't get it, we can't get it." And then Christmas
happened.
morning, I came around the corner and it was there under the tree, and I just remember being like, "Oh,
I ruined my bike gift.
you ruined
My
it?"
parents got me a bike. We were still at the old house. So again, 5 or so, 4 or 5. And it was my birthday, not Christmas. And my brother and I shared a room around the time of my sister was born. My sister was born in, I think,
2000?
November of 2000. So this had to have been August of 2000. Because we moved summer of 2001 into the house my parents are still in. So this would have been my 5th birthday. And by this point, my mom, like, born, you know, we're 2-3 months before my sister was born. So I'd been moved out of what was my room, and my brother and I begun sharing a room in preparation so they could get what was my room turned into the baby room and stuff. And we were told, don't go in there. But we used to go in there and play because it was like an empty room with, you know, new paint and a crib, and it was all exciting. So we'd play action figures and, like, you know, whatever. And I ran in there to go, like, play because I'd forgotten that I was supposed to be in there. The bike was in there, and I saw it, and I felt really bad immediately, and like closed my eyes and shut the door. And then my parents were on to me immediately. They were like, "Did you see what was in there?" And I was like, "No," like trying to protect the illusion for their sake, not mine, so that I could actually surprise. But I fucked it up and saw my bike, and it was a Power Ranger bike, and I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers, but they got me a Power Ranger bike. So whatever, it's
Doesn't make
too
any sense.
violent. I don't know. They didn't want me watching Red Ranger kicking ass or something. So I don't know, but I remember my first big bike. It had training wheels on it still, but so it was small enough. It had training wheels on it still, but they, like, you know, they could be taken off. I don't think I learned how to ride on 2 wheels in that house though. I think I was a little older. But yeah, I ruined my bike surprise. I didn't have the surprise.
They told you not
It
to.
had,
go
it
in
came
there.
with a water bottle too. I remember that. I did a water bottle holder, a little power.
Nice.
Little
Gotta
Power
stay
Rangers water
hydrated.
bottle, yeah. You have a first bike story?
No,
I made mine
mean,
out of wood.
I have a first bike story, but it wasn't Christmas.
We pulled tires out the Ohio River.
Oh,
I used a
God.
wagon wheel.
Yeah. Went magnet fishing and got me a
Right,
frame.
My first bike, my dad just showed up. It was probably like middle of summer. My dad just showed up, went, "Hey, come outside," and there was just a bike on the porch.
Here.
And then I learned to ride it.
There you go.
That was that.
Nice.
It's
What a
not
great
exciting at all.
story.
It's not. Yeah.
Presentation.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got on the bike. Some things happened, and then I got off the bike.
Yeah. What a
Nick's Nick's
Your
legs were
life
just
makes
so
so
long.
much sense. Yeah.
what a rich tapestry you just painted us.
Listen,
there.
you asked me. I wasn't going to bring it up. It's not an exciting story.
It's like, well, these guys have cool bike story. Well, I ruined mine too. Mine was, I ruined mine. Yours was just a random gift. But don't you like a random out of nowhere gift though?
No, those
I
are
always
great.
like a random
Those are
out of
great.
nowhere gift.
Yeah.
That's why I never buy anything for her for
Come
Christmas.
outside.
Like,
No.
I'm shit for
It's
Christmas
hilarious.
because I go, ooh, she'll like this, and then I just buy it.
He just
and
buys
I'll
it.
just give it to her on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
Like when I just was like, she probably needs AirPods. I just bought them.
It was the best.
It was like March. So when it comes to like Christmas time, I've blown my load already. I bought her all this stuff. It's just gone.
But thankfully, I really don't care.
Yeah,
so.
we don't give a shit really about holidays. Like Valentine's Day, we're like, what should we do? I don't know. McDonald's. Like we don't. It doesn't matter.
We do.
Like the
we
Belchers,
make a
yeah.
nice meal.
And normally we make a steak
We
and all
usually-
the smoke detectors go off in the house. And it sucks.
We made a
So romantic.
Cajun pasta one year.
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
Anyways, I don't know. We don't go out to eat on Valentine's Day though, because it's always a
Yeah, it's
disaster.
hellacious. And where are we gonna go? Carrabba's? I'd rather eat my table.
I'm so mad. Our anniversary this year was trash.
We went to Carrabba's. It was
It
terrible.
was awful. Well, we wanted to go somewhere else, and it was everywhere in Ocal's closed on Mondays.
Yeah, we wanted to go to Mesadena
True.
today.
And I was like half mad at him. Anyways,
Yeah, boy.
we won't get into it. We'll talk about it later.
It's after all over.
That was the night I didn't get home from choir practice till like 9 p.m. and you were really hangry.
Oh my god. That was the night after that. Yeah, that was Sunday. choir practice ran long, and I
Well, and I had to go to the store afterwards. I didn't get to make it to the store ahead of time. I had to go after.
and I was like shaking hungry, and didn't want to eat though because I'm like, she's gonna come home, blah blah. And like later and later and later, and I was just hangry, and she got home with I think Chipotle, and then I opened,
Fell on the-
and then I opened my
Oh no.
my Chipotle, like the silver lid off, and I dump a lot of the Chipotle like Tabasco hot sauce in my
As
bowl.
you
So
do, yeah.
I'm mixing
You
it,
got to,
and
yeah.
like a big forkful like fell on the floor.
Ugh.
And she's like, let me get it. And I was like, I'll get it. Like, I just was like, God damn it, this night sucks. And I was just furious because I hadn't eaten. And then I'm just like furiously eating my Chipotle. I was so pissed off watching football. I think my Packers lost that day too.
It had been
What
a long.
terrible
It
day.
had been a long day, and then
And then our anniversary's the next day, and I'm like, happy anniversary, suck my ass. I was so mad. And then we went to Carrabba's.
If you're lucky.
You didn't say
No,
that.
the
on
day
my-
of it was great. Our anniversary day was, but it's a Monday. And Mondays
It's a
are
Monday. You have to go
bummer.
to work, and then and nowhere was open, and Carrabba's was weird, and this lady was like, "You can't sit on
Carrabba's
this
was
bench."
weird.
And
Yeah, we
Couldn't sit on the bench.
Well, we got like this
whole
lady
thing.
was holding an entire bench. Carrabba's was
Like in the waiting area.
yeah, but like the whole
Oh.
like left half of Carrabba's was reserved for like they have some stupid wine club you can go to if you're an idiot and you join a wine club at Carrabba's.
Carrabba's.
How uninteresting is your life? What is your PT Cruiser like to drive? Like what are we doing? And so she's sitting, there's a whole bench, and she's sitting right in the middle of it, and she's all, you know, like pinchy women
looks
that are just like pinchy,
pissy,
and you're like,
yeah.
I'm gonna throw you in a river.
Pinchy women.
Just awful. Just and she's sitting in the middle of the bench, and Danielle's like goes to sit, and she's like, my family's sitting
women.
here. Her whole family's at the bar.
Are they?
No,
They were
all at the bar,
actively.
and not standing at the bar, seated at the bar, seated. And so we're like, fine. So we went outside and got carried away by mosquitoes while waiting for Carrabba's. Which, by the way, Carrabba's
I've
sucks.
never been.
It sucks.
It's just Olive Garden, right?
Never been.
Essentially.
it's a step
Oh, no.
above Olive Garden, but
Oh, no.
I think it's a little better.
You go to Carrabba's because they give you like you get a nice bread, and they give you like this oil. It's just olive oil. They give you extra virgin olive oil with like red pepper flakes and shit, and you dip the bread in it, and it's great. Just do that at home.
Yeah.
Carrabba's is bullshit. Go to Mesa de Noche.
But when
in
you're
town.
there, you're family. So
that's Olive
that
Garden.
counts for something. Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
No,
Screw
it's-
Carrabba's.
people are like Carrabba's is better Olive Garden. No, they're both dog shit, and you're stupid if you go there. Make pasta at home. It's very easy. Remember when we made pesto the other night? It took 30 minutes.
Yes, it was really
Oh,
good.
And it was
pesto's so good.
incredible.
It was really good.
Never go out Italian like to big chains. Like that place we wanted to go to was closed on Monday. Mesa de Noche. They're great. They have a very good chicken marsala. Very good. They have people that like bring you wine and tell you about it.
Nice.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what they're saying, but I like to hear it.
Which like Olive Garden attempts to do that. Would you like to sample a wine? And it's just Josh. It's like shut up, dude.
Barefoot wine.
It's Bernard.
Yeah, it's like, and you're just sitting there trying to eat to a chorus of hissing hearing aids. I hate Olive Garden and Carrabba's. I hate it. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
God.
Should we? How long have we been going? 1,000.
An hour.
Holy cow! Over an hour.
3 minutes.
I've got two other questions, but they're both dumb.
well, go-
I'll ask them.
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
Ask
All right,
them.
who would win, Lord of the Rings elves or the Santa Claus ELFSs?
Oh, Lord of the Rings. elf.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say
how cool those
Gremlins.
kids
I thought you were going to say Gremlins.
Yeah, well, okay, but ELFS or Gremlins.
Just Lord of the Rings elves or gremlins. Nothing to do with this movie.
Gremlins might win over ELF.
Yeah, I think ELFS.
ELFS.
Oh, yeah.
They're cool.
It's
but
technology.
What do we know about them? They can fly. That's it. That's all we know about them.
Gremlins can't fly.
Like, sure, you can fly.
Yeah, but they can mess with the electronics.
Elves have bow and
Sure.
arrows, and they're like the
Yeah.
best warriors of Middle Earth. So, I mean, I'm going with elves.
Yeah.
And the elves only really show up at night, it seems like. So the gremlins are good there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, number 2.
My other question is, did this movie help strengthen your belief in Tim Allen?
And Tim Allen? Yeah. Yeah. I believe in
No.
Tim Allen.
It made me miss old Tim Allen, or me not knowing much about Tim Allen.
You should go back and watch Tool Time. It probably doesn't hold up, but there's a lot of great like bits and characters.
Can I ask a stupid question? Is Tool Time the same as Home Improvement? Or are they two different shows? What's
Tool
Oh wait,
Time?
yeah, Home Improvement. Tool Time is the show on Home Improvement.
That's the show within the show. That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Which apparently Tim
Which is
Allen
also very
has the
Seinfeld.
entire set in his garage. Which is kind of cool.
That's pretty great.
That is pretty cool. I wonder if he ever goes in there and pretends to be on television.
Just does the grunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
just pretends he's still friends with Al.
What's the French
Al
guy?
Borland.
Oh
God,
I
you're
don't remember his
taking me back
name.
now.
Well,
I just know you never see his face.
You never see
Yeah.
his face.
Al? No.
No, Al Borland's the guy he's the co-host of the
Yeah.
show. Ah, God, I can't believe I don't remember the neighbor's name.
It's
Man.
embarrassing.
Google it.
I'll look it up.
All
right
the
now.
angry chats right now.
While you're
The
googling
angry
it,
comments.
a line from this movie that lives in my head rent free. I don't know why, but I think about it all the time. Is when they're at Denny's and he asks for chocolate milk, and the waitress is like, "We're out," and he's like, "Plain milk's fine." I think about plain milk's fine all the time. Every time you drink milk,
Which is a lot.
plain milk's fine. Just in my head.
Fine.
She gets like viscerally disgusted when I drink.
I
milk
hate
in
it.
the
Well, he'll eat a full dinner and then straight to milk. Ugh.
Like, I'm fine with
Like,
milk, but
follow
yeah,
through.
that's a
No,
weird
I'm never.
Yeah.
absolutely fine.
I'm
weird
never,
time.
never fine with milk.
post-dinner milk.
Well, I go get 2 Oreos, sometimes 3 if I'm feeling crazy.
Well,
you're-
okay,
yeah,
now
really
it's
indulgent.
different.
But what drives Danielle nuts is like I don't like dunk, eat 1 cookie, drink some milk. I dunk and eat all 3 and then just house the milk.
No.
I'm still dunking.
Yeah, no, that's how you do it.
You're
Yeah.
No!
Yes, thank you.
You don't like cookie milk like back and forth?
No.
No,
You
no, no.
Eat
I
all
got shit
cookie
to
and then
do.
all milk?
I'm not gonna stand there and like
Then what's
inspect
the
it
benefit?
like a glass of wine.
What's the benefit of cookies
I
and milk
will-
if
The
you're eating
cookie-
all?
You
Why
dip
is
the
this
cookie.
I
hard?
will cookie milk until they're both empty.
Yes.
Like the whole box of Oreos is gone and the gallon of milk
Okay,
is
but
gone.
But you're
that's
not
different.
you're not
Sick.
sipping
You're
the
not-
milk in between
you're not-
dunks.
No, yeah, I'm just going nuts. It's a blur.
Okay, she's
Yeah.
like, she takes 45 minutes, I'm assuming, to drink a glass
No.
of milk. She's like, dip an Oreo, swirl the milk, see its vintage, take a sip, another Oreo. And I'm just like, Oreo, and then
Yeah.
chug the milk
But
before it
that's
gets
not.
warm.
It's dessert. I want to have an enjoyable experience. A dessert isn't meant to be rushed.
No, I do everything at
Yeah.
100 miles an hour. Everything is quick.
You're wrong.
No, I'm quick.
Like your cookie,
No, I don't savor anything.
it's just crazy to
You
me. You're
just-
left with so much milk that you just have
just
to then
drink it.
drink.
Well,
Well, you
the
can't
out-
do a little milk because then you can't get
Then
to
you
it at
can't
the
get
bottom of the
the
glass.
If you
short,
use
wide glass.
Yeah, like a rocks glass.
That's
then
too
you
bougie.
Can,
No,
Sometimes
so-
I'll stick a fork into
What?
the middle and I'll
Yeah.
use the fork to get in there.
I don't like this.
And then
Too
you can
much.
kind of let
That doesn't
it
break
sit in
the
there for a
cookie.
bit.
I
enough.
haven't had an Oreo in forever, so I don't
Now
know.
we're
I'm out of
bringing
practice.
accessories in. This is just ridiculous. Nick and I are aligned. Yeah, and I actually even pour enough milk to where I know that I can have a good, solid couple second chug of milk after I'm done.
You gotta wash the Oreo
I
down.
mean, I do want a good wash, but I don't want like 4 like big sips of milk.
Now, and I'm surprised she hasn't brought this up, but the most insane part of my milk and cookie habit is I'll go dinner straight to like milk and Oreos, and then
That is
like,
insane.
Like Oreos still in my teeth, I'll go crack a beer.
You're a madman.
I don't know.
Milk to beer.
Yeah,
I don't know. How do you, on a full dinner stomach.
yeah.
he's insane.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I
how I
don't know.
live my life.
Like I want to have dessert. Like
Do you
an hour
wake up and just
half.
have diarrhea? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. What could solve this
No, no.
problem?
No.
The next step
Diarrhea in the
after a
morning.
beer is going to the bathroom,
After-
taking your glasses off, and just
What
going
is
through it.
beer doing to you people? Beer's fine. It's good for you.
Oh my gosh.
You know, whatever. I'm normal. By the way, the
It's
fence
mostly
guy's
the
name
milk
is
and
fence
then
guy's name is
beers.
Wilson. in my-
Wilson.
God.
That was somewhere in my brain for some reason. I was afraid to
knew
say the
that.
wrong thing.
Sheesh.
Hit or miss?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's wrap up the last hit or miss of the year.
I love this movie. I know. I was worried that you guys weren't. Like I was worried that as
We have hearts.
Carl, I don't like that smirk you just did. I was worried that I was kind of looking at it through rose tinted glasses just
Yeah,
from
yeah,
watching it so
yeah.
many times. But I don't know. It's easy for me to go, yeah, it's Santa, and you just believe, like, you don't have to worry about the rules. Like, there's a
The
lot of
rules
loopholes.
make sense though.
Yeah.
Well, there's some things that it's
So,
just like,
I mean,
why
yeah.
would this? But you don't have to do that.
What
here.
if nobody puts on the suit? What happens?
Sometimes you believe that, like, what does he say at the beginning? Sometimes you believe things just because you believe them.
Yeah, why not? It's called faith. Look it up.
So it is a hit for me.
All right.
Do you want me to go?
I don't know
next?
why I looked to you, but yeah.
Okay.
We'll end with Carl because he's over there smirking and stuff.
No.
I don't know. So,
All right.
like, I feel bad, like, not giving Muppets Christmas Carol a hit and then giving this a hit.
Nah, dude. Speak your
But
truth.
This, I don't know. It was funnier than I remembered. I really enjoyed it. It made me smile a lot, which is what I want out of a Christmas movie. I want to have a good time. I want to laugh. I want to feel the joy of Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
So it's a hit for me.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
it's a hit for me too. This was. This is why you're going
Poor
last.
Carl.
I went into this movie, fairly Switzerland about it going in. I was like, I don't know, I don't feel either way. Don't know. I just went in neutral, and this movie wanted me to like it, and I did. I had fun. It was nice and short.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Stakes were low.
The stakes were basement level low. Like there's no, and I like that. It's an enjoyable holiday time. I want to watch the next couple. Like I watch more. It was fine. All right, Carl ruined Christmas for everybody.
No. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Live your truth, Carl.
All right.
I just can't support drug traffickers.
It's hard to watch this movie now, knowing how Tim Allen is.
This movie just doesn't put the Christ in Christmas for me.
Where is Jesus?
I was gonna go mid, just because like I think I remembered this as a kid more fondly, and it didn't sit with me as well as I thought it would have. I don't know, like it was definitely a lot drier than I thought, which worked better with my cynical old age. But I don't know, like it seemed like the pacing was kind of slow. Like it reminded me of what was the movie, the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, where it seemed like it was short and slow paced.
Yeah.
Like there was like it felt like it did this weird thing. But I think I enjoyed it. But yeah, overall, I don't think I could give it a hit. Like it's not Gremlins.
I'll say the face turn of like Laura and Neil is
It's very quick.
so
It feels
abrupt.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like dare I
Yeah.
say kind of bad.
Santa?
They could
Yeah.
have
It's
done.
rushed.
They could have done
Yeah,
more.
that was weird. Ugh.
It's the rare
Like-
instance of like, man, if we made this maybe 10 minutes longer, the last 20 minutes might not feel so
Yeah.
just. And then they
And
believe it, everything's fine.
they take so much time to get to the story. It's like, why did they waste their I don't know. It took so much time to get that water to boil, and then they just
Yeah.
like.
I also
don't know,
kind of
it's-
wanted like if someone to keep protesting through the end. Like if Neil was like, this is right now, I still don't, I'm still not
Yeah.
buying it. Like we didn't really have that. We just went and everything's great forever,
Yeah.
and that's kind of a bummer. But also it's Christmas, so you get a pass.
It is
Yeah.
heartwarming when he gets his little weenie whistle and blows it. You're like, oh, Neil. good
Danielle
for
was
you."
laughing at that
I
because it's
just
the weenie whistle.
a
It's
weenie
so
whistle.
specific. Yeah,
It is,
why?
it's hysterical.
What is that? Yeah.
I really hope the writers' room was like, what ridiculous things can we have? them
Pez
on?
dispenser? No, that's too mainstream. We need a deeper cut.
So, of the 3 Christmas movies we've watched, what's our ranking?
I love the hiccups. I'm dying.
Gremlins was
Gremlins,
the biggest
this.
surprise for me. That was a lot of fun.
Gremlins, this movie.
What did we watch?
Christmas
What did we-
Carol.
Oh, Christmas Carol.
Muppets Christmas
I wasn't on that episode, so it's out of my mind.
Oh, right. That's right. You had double pneumonia.
Yeah. Side note, that movie's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean,
How would
Christmas
I
Carol's
rank
the better Christmas movie, but I had more fun in Gremlins.
Oh, I'll be bold. For me, it's Gremlins number 1, 100%. Number 2, oh boy. I really liked both this and Muppets. I'll put Muppets at number 2 because I have to, and then this just isn't as good of a movie as Muppets, but Muppets isn't my favorite Christmas Carol adaptation, so I think I'm knocking it artificially for that.
I mean,
So,
Michael Caine just.
And Michael
going-
Caine is so good. But no, Gremlins, I had the most fun watching of any of that, even though it's the least Christmassy. But also, like last year.
Because that was also the only one I hadn't seen.
Yeah, but
So it was a surprise.
And last year, if we did this, it'd be like, yeah, it's Die Hard. Die Hard's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel that way about Gremlins too. Is it a Christmas movie? Like, yeah, screw you. It is.
I'm going Gremlins, the Santa Claus,
Muppets. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's like Gremlins was. It's a good movie.
Gremlins was a lot of fun.
It's a good movie. What do you?
It's so
what would you
ridiculous.
rank them? You brought it up.
I did bring it up. I would probably do this, then Christmas Carol, then Gremlins.
Then Gremlins. All right.
But I liked Gremlins.
Carl.
I liked Gremlins.
I think I would do Gremlins, Muppets, Christmas Carol, and then this movie.
Okay, now I have a final question. We don't have time for 20 questions. We'll do it in the new year. Because this question's more fun. You are only allowed to watch one Christmas movie next year. What is it?
Of the ones we just
No,
watched, or any?
no,
Okay.
no.
Ever. Like of
No,
all
not
movies.
ever. Yeah, ever of all movies. This isn't and you're never allowed to watch anything else. But if you had to pick one Christmas movie to watch, what would you pick?
Easy The Holiday with Jude Law and Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz
And Jack Black.
Jack Black.
I just watched that recently.
Oh, I
movie.
love it. It's so good.
A podcast I was listening to brought up a plot point or plot hole
It's
or
fine.
a plot contention in that of like Jude Law, right? He walks back from the pub to his sister's house or whatever. But no man is not in the wilderness just going to go find a tree and be in the woods. There's no reason for him to go to her house at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sometimes he stays the night
But
because
yes,
he's too
well,
drunk to get home.
Well, the other reason is we need a plot, so it's fine. But yeah, the holiday though
yes.
over the one I like with Hugh Grant.
Love Actually?
Love
Yeah,
Actually?
100%.
Oh shit! Okay.
I
I
haven't watched that this year.
my gut says A Christmas Story, but I've seen White Christmas once.
Oh, I forgot about White
White
Christmas.
And
Christmas is bitching. That is
I do
such
see
good
a
movie.
scenario where that
I
could
haven't
trump
watched that yet.
It's coming.
A
in
Christmas Story.
theaters. Oh yeah.
But as it says right now, Christmas Story.
Carl.
I'm gonna be a little off the beaten path here and go. I'm gonna do,
Red One.
Well, I'm actually gonna go TV show, and it's Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's the first
Yeah.
claymation one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's it's just such a good
I
episode.
like that.
That is a good one.
I like that. I'm going absolutely A Christmas Story. Absolutely.
You know what's
Story.
up.
That's the best Christmas movie. I'm sorry. You know, I think people that don't like it are, I think that they think they're a better people than me, and they're not. Because it's my show.
It's calling me out right now.
That's a good movie. But
I'm your wife, so.
you know, it's that to me. I would just watch that movie with my dad all the time. Like, you know, we mentioned that it's on 24 hours or whatever, but that like, you find the family dysfunction incredibly off-putting.
Oh, it's so
And
hard
we
to
found-
watch.
It's just hilarious.
Stresses me out.
It's so funny, and then the rah at the end, and it's smiling at
Oh,
me. And
I say that every time I hear that
cut the
song.
duck's head off and put it in the thing. It's so good. He shoots his eye out. 10 out of 10. That's the best.
Show me
Christmas
how the
movie for
piggy
me.
eats.
Like I would go to
God.
as far as like you can watch only one Christmas movie for the rest of your life in the season. Christmas Story. I wouldn't even hesitate. I'm not balking. It is up there for me, like on my shelf of movies that I will love unconditionally, no matter what. It's this movie is sitting right next to Smokey and the Bandit. They're the best. And what is the common fact? I watched them with my dad growing up.
Aw.
100% just excellent movies. I mean, Smokey and the Bandit's the best movie ever made.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was really
I
good.
mean,
It's
up-
so
it's
good.
up there.
It's so good.
I did really enjoy that one.
Yeah, it's 10 out of 10. Don't watch the second or the third one because they're terrible rubbish, but
For the money, the glory, and the fun.
mostly for the money.
Yeah. Eastbound and down. Oh, so catchy.
All right, well, hey, I can't think of a better way to end 2024 than talking about
The first movie we watched.
the Smokey and
Yeah.
the Bandit. Is that the first movie of this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect book.
Let's just do that again next year. Let's just
Yeah, we'll
watch
just
it
like-
again.
Every January we just watch Smokey and the Bandit again. Like, we need a good TikTok before it gets banned. So,
Yeah.
on that note, follow us on things that aren't TikTok because TikTok's going away. So,
Yeah.
Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube. I think I just put our Apple Podcasts and Spotify links in the YouTube. So,
Nice,
if you
nice.
would rather listen, which is arguably a better way to enjoy the show than looking at us the whole time, subscribe on there. Subscribe here. Don't write us an email because we never read them. But yeah, our next episode. So we have a break next week. We're not going to have one during New Year's because who the hell wants to record a movie during New Year's? People are traveling. Carl's going to be in Washington, D.C., freezing his ass off.
Yep.
We're going to just take that week off. Our first episode in January, we're going to do our
7th.
year-end recap again. So we're going to pick our movie of the year, which is going to be, I think, substantially more difficult this year.
I think so.
And, you know,
Yeah.
our top three, bottom three, and all that jazz, just like we did last year. If you want to see what we did last year, it's in an Instagram story. Like, what do they call those things?
Highlights.
Highlights.
A
It's in a
highlight.
highlight on our Instagram. And yeah, we're looking forward to year 3 for Christ's sake. We're going to do
Here we
this show
go.
until we all die. Or until the earth, America is no longer a country. It's going to be crazy. So 2025.
Maybe it.
Yep. We're
We'll
going to grin our teeth and bear it. So happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And we'll see you guys in the new year. Bye.